Welcome to another video. Today we are doing Chapter 1, Lesson 7, 6th grade math. We're going to be talking about ratios and rate problems. We're going to start off with our real-world link first. In this real-world link, they're talking about an arcade selling game tokens individually or in packages. They're having a sale on tokens as shown. So if I buy one package, it'll cost me $5. 2 packages, $10. 3 packages, $15. If we notice each time I buy a packet, another $5 is added. So how many token packages can I buy with $20? If $15 was the price for 3 of them, I'm going to assume it's going to be 4, if it will let me draw. There you go. And then with 25, I should be able to buy 5. Well, we're going to write a little explanation here saying that each time I buy another package, it costs $5 more, which is going to lead us to our next problem. What is the unit price? For one package, it costs $5. The sale price does not change as they go up because it's another 5, another 5, another 5. It doesn't give us a discount at all. Therefore, every single package will cost me $5. How much would it cost to buy 6 token packages? So again, if one package costs me $5 and I'm going to buy 6 of them, 5 times 6 would equal 30. So it would cost me $30 to buy 6 token packages. The arcade sells individual tokens for 25 cents each. If a token package contains 25 tokens, so let's go ahead and take our notes. I'm going to do 1p for package equals 25 tokens. And if they sell each token, so 1 token equals 25 cents, how much would you save by buying a package of 25 instead of buying 25 individual tokens? So we're going back to the original problem. The package of tokens is going to cost me $5. So one package costs me $5, and I'm going to get 25 tokens. So this is all in one bubble. One package is $5. It gives me 25 tokens. If I were to buy 1 token apiece for 25 cents, it would cost me to get 25 tokens. I would have to multiply it by 0.25. Because each token costs 25 cents. Times 25 for 25 tokens, we're going to find out here how much I would be spending if I were to buy them individually. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 will be 12. And then 5 times 0 will be 0, plus 1 is 1. Place value. We're actually going to use a different color now. Let's use purple. Place value 0, and then 2 times 5 will be 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then 2 times 0, that's I didn't carry anything over this time, will be 0. 5 plus 0, 2 plus 0, 1 plus 5, and then a 0. And then remember, 2 numbers came after a decimal. So it would cost me $6.25 if I were to buy these tokens individually versus the $5 that it would cost me if I bought a package. Now to find the difference, I need to subtract. So it was $6.25 buying them individually versus the $5 that I spent buying a package. 5 minus 0 is 5. 2 minus 0 is 2. Since we're subtracting, decimal just comes straight down. And 6 minus 5 is 1. So I save myself $1.25 if I buy a package versus buying individual tokens. And that's what I could put for number 4. Now, the reason why we're talking about these ratio problems is this is going to come up a lot in commerce. Commerce being buying and selling of things. Companies will sell in bulk because they want to entice you. You may have gone in thinking, oh, I'm not going to need 25 tokens. I'm only going to need 5, and I'm going to spend the 25 cents per one. But then you see something like, well, if you get a package that gives with 25 tokens and only costs you $5, then you think, oh, this is probably a better deal and I'll go that route. The adverse can be said as well to not make you spend so much money. But if you're going to buy more than 25 tokens, instead of buying them individually, buy them as packages because you can save $1.25 for every 25 tokens that you buy, which can then lead you to buy more packages later on. So you can use bar diagrams or equations with equivalent ratios to solve ratio and rate problems. Heritage Middle School has 150 students. 2 out of 3 students in Mrs. Mason's class prefer gel toothpaste. Use this ratio to predict how many students in the entire middle school prefer gel toothpaste. So we did a bar here. Assuming, because I don't know where, Heritage Middle School has 150 students. So 150 students. We said that 2 out of 3 students in Mrs. Mason's class prefer gel toothpaste. So what they did here is they divided 150 by 3, which gives us 50. 50 times 3 is 150. Now, if 2 out of 3, so we do these 2 50s here, prefer gel toothpaste instead of regular toothpaste, we can assume by using this bar diagram that 100 students out of the 150 prefer gel and the other 50 prefer not gel. Use equivalent fractions. So 2/3, blank, and 150. So I'm going to go ahead and use this over here. We'll do a new whiteboard. 2 out of 3 students prefer gel toothpaste. We want to make this equivalent to out of 150 because there's 150 students in the school. What would I need to do to 3 to make it 150? Well, what I need to multiply this by. Now we're going to go ahead and use our big math brains here. Ignore the 0 for now. What would I need to do to 3 to get it to be 15? I'd multiply it by 5. Now, because this is extra zeros here, I'm just going to add a 0 here. So 50 times 3 should be 150. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. It checks off. So if I multiply 3 by 50 to get to 150, I will need to multiply 2 by 50 to find out how many students prefer gel toothpaste, which will be 100. So 100 students, that 0 looks weird, 100 students prefer gel toothpaste rather than not gel toothpaste. The ratio of the number of text messages sent by Lucas to the number of text messages sent by his sister is 3 to 4. So Lucas, for basically what this is saying is for every 3 text messages that Lucas sends, his sister sends 4. So his sister sends more text messages than he does. Lucas sent 18 text messages. How many text messages did his sister send? So we can use a bar diagram like we did here. So, like we said, Lucas sent 3 text messages to his sister's 4. This is a little confusing because it automatically just writes this down like you know the numbers. So, use a bar diagram. So, Lucas sent 18 text messages. 18. If we divide 18 by 3, which is the number that he had sent, you would get 6. So instead of the 4 over here dividing 18 by 4, we're going to do 4 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that she sent 24 texts. Another way to do this is to do the equivalent ratio problem. The bar diagram sometimes is a little tricky. So he sends 3 text messages, she sends 4. It should equal 18 in my mystery number. What did I do to 3 to get to 18? This is when you're going to do 18 divided by 3. Because you need to know what to multiply 3 by. If you know your 3's, then cool. If you know what 3 times blank equals 18, awesome. If you don't, you got to go this route. And technically, you should know. So 3 does not go into 1, but 3 will go into 18 6 times. Because 3 times 5 is 15 plus another 3 is 18. So I'm going to be multiplying this by 6. The same thing has to happen here. When I multiply 4 times 6, I'm going to get 24. So if Lucas sent 18 text messages, that means his sister had to have sent 24 text messages for this ratio to be true. And here, we had 4 times 6. Use equivalent fractions, just like we did. This is so much easier. If your brain works with bar diagrams, I'm not going to tell you don't do it. Go for it. This is not how my brain works. Got it. Do these problems to find out. In a survey, 4 out of 5 people preferred creamy over chunky peanut butter. So I'm going to take notes while we read this. 4 out of 5 people preferred creamy peanut butter over chunky peanut butter. I'm probably the one. I like chunky. There are 120 people shopping at the grocery store. Use a survey to predict how many people in the store would prefer creamy peanut butter. Okay, so 4 out of 5 people prefer creamy peanut butter, and 120 people are shopping. So 120 is our denominator. How many people would prefer creamy peanut butter? I have to figure out what I do to 5 to get to 120. So I'm going to do 120 divided by 5. 5 will not go into 1. 5 will go into 12 twice. That will equal 10. When I subtract, I'll get 2 left over. Bring down the 0. 5 will go into 20 4 times. That will equal 20. I'll have nothing left over. So I need to multiply this by 24. So in order to get 5 to become 120, I multiply it by 24. I have to do the same thing to 4 in order to find out how many people prefer creamy peanut butter. I'm going to erase my work over here. I'm going to use a different color. And I'm going to do 4 times 24. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 1 is 9. So 96 people in the supermarket, if there's 120, are more than likely going to prefer creamy peanut butter over chunky. A survey found that 12 out of every 15 people in the United States prefer eating at a restaurant over cooking at home. If 400 people selected eating at a restaurant on the survey, how many people took the survey? So 12 out of every 15 people in the United States, let's go ahead and do a new whiteboard. 12 out of every 15 people in the United States prefer eating at a restaurant. If 400 people said they prefer eating at a restaurant, well, how many people took the survey? Now remember, the total is always at the bottom. This is why when they said there were 120 people shopping at the grocery store, that's why you put 120 at the bottom. In this one, if 400 people selected eating at a restaurant on the survey, how many people took the survey? 400 is going to be our top number. So 12 converts to 400 because it's not our total. We're missing our total. How many people took the survey? So for 12 to become 400, I'm going to have to do some reverse engineering. 12 will not go into 4, but 12 will go into 40. Now let's see. I know 12 times 2 is 24 times 4 would be 48, so it's not going to be that. It's going to have to go in 3 times, which should be 36. When I subtract, 0 minus 6 cannot do. Borrow. That will become a 3. This will become a 10. 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. 12 cannot go into 4. Bring down this. And 12 will go into 40 again another 3 times, which will give me 36. Subtract. 4 left over. And maybe doing this a little bit wrong. Let's go back and check the question. Survey found out that 12 out of every 15 people in the United States prefer eating at a restaurant over cooking at home. If 400 people selected eating at a restaurant on the survey, how many people took the survey? So 12 to 400. 400 divided by 12. All right, we were doing this right. So we are going to need to do some steps here because I cannot make 12 become 400 without multiplying by a decimal. And then there's no way that, 33.3 times 15 is going to give me an actual number of people. So this is where we're going to need to do our steps. I'm going to need to not try to convert 12 to become 400. I'm going to make 12 convert into something that can then convert to 400. So I'm going to divide both of these by a certain number. 12 and 15 both have 3 as a common factor. If I divide 12 by 3, it gives me 4. And if I divide 15 by 3, it gives me 5. This number is definitely a lot easier to convert over because 12 will not convert to 400. So 4 to 400 gives me an easy conversion. I multiply 4 by 100. The same thing will happen down with 5, which means that I need to multiply that by 100 as well, which will give me 500. So 500 people took the survey. Sometimes it takes a step back for us to go forward. Me trying to convert 12 to become 400 was a guess and check because I didn't know right off the top of my head. But because I double checked with a calculator to make sure, and I'm like, hey, I'm running into a decimal here. This isn't right. I knew that that wasn't the route. I would have to go backwards. So dividing 12 by 3. And I'm going to check my work one more time just to make sure I still don't have winter break brain. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 goes into 400 100 times. So I would need to multiply 5 by 100 to get 500. And there's my answer. The Millers drove 105 miles on 4 gallons of gas. At this rate, how many miles can they drive on 6 gallons of gas? So this is definitely going to be one of those converting ones. If 4 gallons of gas could get them 105 miles, I want to find out how many 6 gallons of gas can. 4 cannot become 6. It's not happening. Therefore, I'm going to have to convert this down. And here's going to be the problem. 105. So they give us a double number line to do this. 105 divided by 4 will be 26.25. They found the number, they found the unit rate. They found out that 1 gallon of gas will give them 26.25 miles. Then they took the 26.25 and multiplied it by 6 because it's 6 gallons of gas. That'll give us 157.5. That's fine. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would have been to convert this and divide these by 2. Because when I divide 4 by 2, it becomes 2, and then I can easily convert 2 to become 6. The problem here is when I divide 105 by 2, I'm not going to get such a pretty number. I'm actually going to get 105. Half of 100 is 50. Half of 5 would be 2.5. So I'd get 52.5. In order for 2 to become 6, I need to multiply it by 3, and I would have to do the same thing here. 3 times 5 would be 15, carry the 1. 3 times 2 would be 6 plus 1 is 7. 3 times 5 would be 15. One number came after a decimal. Therefore, I would get 157.5 miles out of it, which is exactly what they told us here. So the Millers can drive 157.5 miles on 6 gallons of gas. Let's take a little bit more time with this one. Nowhere in here did they tell us to find the unit rate. Nowhere in the question did it say we had to. So if you did it this way or the way that I did it, it would have been fine. The question did not state find unit rate. So again, the Millers drove 105 miles on 4 gallons of gas. At this rate, how many miles can they drive on 6 gallons of gas? It doesn't tell us to find the unit rate anywhere in the question. Down here, it told us we were going to find it. So that's one way you could do this. You could find out how many gallons of gas or how many miles how many miles 1 gallon of gas could get us, and then multiply it by 6. Or you can down convert it to convert back up. Either one of these is fine. So again, they divided 105 by 4. They got 26.25. So 1 gallon of gas gives you 26 miles and 26.25 miles. Because they're putting in 6 gallons of gas, they're going to multiply 26.25 by 6. That gives us 157.5. On my side, I down converted by dividing this by 2, because I know 4 divided by 2 would give me 2, and 2 could easily become 6 by multiplying it by 3. The problem here is dividing an odd number by 2 gave me a decimal of 52.5. Same thing as up here when I multiplied it by 3. I would multiply this by 3 to get 157.5 miles. Either one of these is correct. All right, let's see. Examples, find the unit rate. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do this got it really quick, and then we'll finish this section off. There are 810 calories in 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream. How many calories are there in 7 scoops of vanilla ice cream? So this one is going to be one where we're going to have to be forced to find the unit rate. So 3 scoops of ice cream give us 810, is that what it said? Calories. We want to find out how many are in 7 scoops. We cannot convert 3 to become 7. It's not going to happen. I'm going to down convert, but I'm going to down convert to 1. I'm going to find out how many calories are in 1 scoop. I need to divide these by 3, both of them. I'm not going to do the long way around on this one, so let's use our calculator. 810 divided by 3 should give me 270. Now let's do this the long way around. 3 goes into 8 twice. That'll be 6. It'll give me 2. Bring down the 1. 3 goes into 21 7 times. That'll be 21. 0 left over comes up. So 270 calories per scoop. If I'm having 7 scoops, it's going to be 270 times 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 7 is 49. Carry the 4. 2 times 7 will be 14, plus the 4 will be 18. So 1,890 calories would be in 7 scoops of ice cream. And that's it. And example number 4. Jeremy drove his motorcycle for 120 miles in 3 hours. Let's go ahead and start a new chart. That's not what I wanted. They drove his motorcycle 3 hours, 120 miles in 3 hours. Now, it doesn't matter. I could have done this as well. Just make sure you keep the same numbers on top. So this is hours. Hours would be in the next fraction, and then the miles would be down here. It doesn't matter if you write 3 over 120 or 120 over 3. They set it up with 120 over 3, so we're going to do it this way. At this rate, how many miles can he drive in 5 hours? And at what rate did he drive his motorcycle? That last part, at what rate did he drive his motorcycle, is asking you basically how much did he go in 1 hour? How many miles did he travel in 1 hour? So, just like it says here, we're going to divide both of these by 3. 3 hours, dividing 3 by 3 will give me 1 hour. 120 divided by 3 will give me 40. 40 miles per hour is how much he drove. If we want to find out how much he can drive in 5 hours, we're going to take that 40 and multiply it by 5, which will give me 200 miles. So Jeremy can drive 200 miles in 5 hours, driving at a rate of 40 miles per hour. And this will be our last example for this lesson. While resting, a human takes in about 5 liters of air in 30 seconds. At this rate, how many liters of air does he take in during 150 seconds? So, our notes state 5 liters of air in 30 seconds. 5 liters of air in 30 seconds. Remember, this is our time, and this is our liters of air. At this rate, how many liters of air does he take in 150 seconds? So 150 will be down here with the time. What do I do to 30 to make it 150? I know 3 times 5 will give me 15, so let's see if 30 times 5 gives me 150. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 3 is 15. So I am multiplying this by 5. So if a person takes in 5 liters of air in 30 seconds, I'm going to multiply that by 5. A person can take in 25 liters of air in 150 seconds. And that's it. Again, if you have any questions, well, let's go over the homework first. Lesson 7 homework practice. Let's go ahead and do let's do 1 through 7. And I'm going to offer something a little rare. 8 and 9 will be extra credit. You have to do both 8 and 9 for 5 points extra credit. If you choose not to do 8 and 9, that's fine. Remember, hint, hint, one of these may show up on your test, so you may want to try. Plus, you get 5 points extra credit. But yeah, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me through email. If you're one of my students, if you're not one of my students, you can leave a comment, and I'll get back to you in a timely manner. And as always, I am Mr. P, and I will catch you on the next one.